incredibly tight in the race for promotion out in League 2, as of course Forest Green Rovers, of course, running away with it. But who's going to join them in League 1 next year? We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. A prediction video today. We're looking forward to match day number 35. That's right, over in the League 2. That's right, and we'll get to it in just one second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe to keep you back up to date. All things League 2 related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Brewski, of course, we've just had a bit of a Brucey bonus week, of course. Some teams made huge strides towards those playoff spots, including Barton's boys. That's right, of course, edging closer to maybe a late playoff push. But who's going to join them? Or can they actually get them into the mix themselves? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs and the pictures, guys. Thank you for your loving, of course, behind the scenes. But anyway, we're going to jump at the deep end. Of course, looking forward to the weekend's action. But of course, revisiting the matches from this past midweek. So Crawley, a lot of draws knocking around here. Crawley against Oldham was a 2-2 draw in the end. Newport County with a 1-1 draw against the Vegans. A bit of a clanger there. Of course, Newport County in the race for promotion. And of course, 6th spot right now. Of course, the Vegans dropping points left, right, and centre at the moment. Meanwhile, Carlisle did pick up a 2-0 win over Rochdale, big in the boosting their survival hopes, which is an incredibly tight race down the foot of the table there. Meanwhile, Northampton picked up a draw against Walsall. Don't know what I'm laughing at. But I have got a little bit of a giggle fit going on at the moment. A draw in the end. Colchester with a 2-2 draw against Leyton. Orient. There it is. This is what I'm talking about. Goodness gracious me. How the mighty have fallen. Kenny Jackett was, of course, the manager for Leyton Orient. He's no longer there. He's been out for a little bit now. But they are so close to get... They're in the relegation battle, guys. They're in 18th, 3 points off the bottom. And, of course, Oldham are in the relegation spots, but with 2 games in hand. Wow. Of course, it could be anybody. Carlisle, Colchester, Stevenage. But we'll look at it in a minute, of course. Harrogate against Port Vale was a draw as well. And, of course, Barton's boys with a 1-0 of a Barrow. Wow. The table as it looks, like I said, Forest Green Rovers 10 points clear over, of course, Northampton Town. Of course, 1 point clear over Tranmere, who are, of course, a couple of points clear over Exeter City. Sutton United, of course, in 5th. Newport County 6th. Newton and Mansfield are in 7th. But, of course, Swindon are in the mix. So are Bristol Rovers, even in Port Vale. And Salford, Crawley, Hartlepool, within striking distance, I'd say. I think it might be a bit too much for, of course, Sparky's boys at Bradford City, because, but we'll see. We'll see, of course. Again, we can't really tell the way things are with the COVID and all that kind of stuff, with all the postponements. But, of course, down the foot, though, Scunthorpe look toast right now, but who's going to join them as well down the foot? Will it be Oldham, Barrow, Stevenage, Colchester, Carlisle, Leyton Orient, maybe even Rochdale and Walsall still in the thing? It is so tight at the foot of the table. But anyway, that's, of course, that. Let's take a look at our own little leaderboard then. Of course, take about Luke NTFC with 4 bins there, guys. Well done to you, of course. And a big shout out to the patrons, of course. Much love over in League 2 from the Patrionos. What about the mini leaderboard? This is the second half of the season, of course. Deep at the Great is running away with it, 66 points on the board. With Jimmy Watton up there in 2nd and Shepherd in 3rd. Brother. Of course, that's the state of play there. Well, of course, we got the next games coming at you. If you want to get involved, of course, we just started a new month of March, so good chance you get some points on the board, including I think this is an extended match day. So let's get into it. All right then, folks, just kicking on forward and taking a look at these next games. Kicking all off at the top of the shop there with Barrow. They're going to be taking on Walsall. That's right, let's get into the deep end on this one then. Now, these two sides have played 3 times in 2020, just 1 for Barrow, nothing for Walsall, and 2 draws, of course. Barrow, though, without a win in 5 now, 42% form for them right now, up against the Walsall side, just 1 defeated past 5 for them, 58% form for them in the moment. Of course, last time around, though, in Barrow, it's a 2-2 draw back in October 2020. The reverse fixture was also a 2-2 draw back in October this season, of course, way back in Walsall. Meanwhile, Barrow picking up a 1-0 loss against Bristol Rovers, of course, haven't scored in 3 games. Of course, goodness gracious me. Meanwhile, Walsall come to us on the back of a good draw against Northampton Town. The odds on this one then, shall we? Of course, Barrow 65 for the victory, 23-10 is your Walsall, 11-5 is your draw. I'm back in the away side here to get a point here. We're 0-0 in the end to take to the house. Kicking off forward is Bradford. Sparky's boys up against Swindon Town. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 23 times since 1996. 8 wins for Bradford, 8 wins for Swindon, and 7 draws, of course. Bradford, though, just 1 win and 6 right now, of course, for Sparky Hughes. Mark Hughes, or Mark Leslie Hughes, if you want to call him that way. Up against the Swindon Town side, have just lost 1 to the past 4, 50% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round though at Vale Parade, it was a 2-1 win for Bradford. That was back in October 2019. The reverse fixture though in Swindon this season back in October was a 3-1 win for Bradford as well. Bradford unbeaten against Swindon on the last 4 occasions, picking up 3 wins and a draw to boot. Of course, Bradford did lose to Mansfield last round, with Swindon also losing to Salford last round. Kicking forward, 11-8 is your also Bradford, 11-5 is your, and 2-1 is your Swindon Town. Of course, I'm back in Bradford to get their first win for Sparky, 2-1 win, denting the hopes of course Swindon Town. Kicking forward, Colchester United against Crawley. Let's get in the deep end on this one. Of course, played each other according to my eyes 22 times in 2003, 9 wins for Colchester, 8 wins for Port Vale, and 5 draws. Colchester though haven't won in the last 6 games, of course. Back-to-back draws though, at 25% form for them right now. Up against Port Vale side, who of course haven't lost in the last 9 games, of course. However, just 1 win in the past 5, 67% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round though at Colchester, it was a 1-0 win for Port Vale back in March 2021. The reverse fixture over at Vale Park was a 3-0 win for Port Vale back in October. Meanwhile, of course, Colchester with a 2-2 draw against Leyton, of course, back-to-back draws for them. Meanwhile, of course, Port Vale coming to also on the back of a draw, and that was against Harrogate, of course, not too long ago. Kicking on forward then, shall we? Colchester 50-8 for the victory, 21-10 is your draw, 31-20 is your away win. I'm backing, of course, the away win here with a 2-1 win for Port Vale to take it to the house. Crawley up against Scunthorpe United. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Now, these two sides, of course, played each other 10 times since 2012. 4 wins for Crawley, 3 for Scunthorpe, and 3 draws, of course. Just 1 defeat though the past 6 games for Crawley right now, 58% form up against the Scunthorpe side. Just 1 win of 6 of them, 25% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round though, over in Crawley, it was a 1-0 win for Crawley back in September 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, in Scunthorpe was a 2-1 for Scunthorpe back in October. Scunthorpe with a loss against Sutton last time around. Of course, Crawley with a 2-2 draw against Oldham last time around. The odds on this one, we have Crawley, of course, a 10-7 on for the victory, 35 is your draw, and 4-1 is just Scunthorpe on this one. Going to back a draw here, 0-0 in the end. Crawley, of course, wouldn't be happy with that, will they? Kicking, of course, Harrogate Town against Hartlepool is the Battle of the H's, of course, taking place early doors on Saturday, of course, taking place over in Harrogate as well. Played each other 8 times in 2011, 5 for Harrogate, 2 for Hartlepool, and 1 draw. Of course, just 1 defeat in the past 5 for Harrogate right now. In fact, just 1 win in 6 if you want to open it up a little bit more. Of course, 42% form for them right now. Up against the Hartlepool side, just 1 defeat in the past 6 games for them, 75% form for them at the moment as well. Last round though, over in Harrogate, it was a 4-1 win for Harrogate. That was back in December 2019. That was in the National League. The reverse fixture, of course, over in Hartlepool this season, back in October, was a 3-2 win for Hartlepool. Hartlepool, though, of course, coming into this on the back of a 3-1 loss against Walsall. Harrogate picking up a 1-1 draw against Port Vale last time around. The odds here for the Battle of the H's, of course, 6-5 is your Harrogate, 11-5 is your draw, 23-10 is your away win. That's Hartlepool. I'm going to back the hosts here with a 2-1 win for Harrogate to take it to the house. Kicking off forward is Leyton Orient, who are in the relegation battle up against Stevenage, of course, over at Brisbane Road. Excuse me, played each other 17 times in 2011. 9 wins for Leyton Orient, 3 for Stevenage, and 5 draws. Of course, Leyton Orient, though, coming into this on the back of a 13-game winless run, losing 5 of the last 6 as well. Meanwhile, Stevenage picking up what we're looking at here, of course, 17% form for them at the moment, looking pretty dreadful as well. Last round, though, at Brisbane Rovers, a 0-0 draw. That's back in March 2021. Leyton Orient haven't conceded a goal against Stevenage over the last 5 matches, of course, and they're unbeaten against them over the last 5, picking up 2 wins and 3 draws. Leyton Orient, though, picking up a 2-2 draw against Colchester. Of course, Stevenage back-to-back 4-game scoreless affair there, so they are in trouble big time. Of course, the odds on this one then, shall we? What do we have? We have Leyton Orient coming at you 11-10 on for the victory, 5-2 is your draw, 3-1 is your long shots at Stevenage. I'm going to back the draw here, 1-1 in the end. Of course, Stevenage get back to scoring ways. Of course, here we go, zinger chicken dinner. It is Mansfield, it is Exeter, and that is, of course, the early kickoff on Friday, or the early in the weekend, of course. It is a zinger indeed. Played each other 16 times in 2013, 5 for Mansfield, 8 for Exeter, and 3 draws. Mansfield, though, unbeaten in the last at least 6 games, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws, 75% form. Up against the Exeter side, who haven't lost in the last 8. Of course, picking up 4 wins in the last 6. Goodness gracious me. 83% form for them at the moment. Of course, last round, though, over in Mansfield, it was a 2-1 win for Exeter back in September 2020. The reverse fixture in Exeter back in October was a 2-1 win for Exeter as well. Exeter unbeaten against Mansfield over the last 4 occasions, picking up 3 wins and a draw. Of course, Mansfield, though, coming to this on the back of a 2-0 win over Bradford, with Exeter picking up a draw against Barton's boys. That's Bristol Rovers. The odds on this one then, 6-4 is your Mansfield, 2-1 is your Exeter, and 11-5 is your. Could go either way, this one. Going to go with a 2-1 winner for Mansfield. Of course, they are on form and, of course, looking for promotion. Kicking on forward, Newport County up against Bristol Rovers, of course, over in Wales. Now, of course, these two sides have played each other 5 times, 2013, 3 for Newport County, 2 for Bristol Rovers, and 0 draws. Of course, Newport County just 1 win in 6, so then 42% form up against Barton's boys, who are, of course, unbeaten in the last 6, picking up 4 wins at the past 5. 83% form for Bristol Rovers. Last round in Wales, it was a 4-1 win for Bristol Rovers. Bit of a local affair, this one, bit of a derby, maybe. Of course, 4-1 win for Bristol Rovers back in, of course, March 2016 in League 2. The reverse fixture this season in Bristol was a 3-1 win for Newport County. Of course, the Welsh boys coming into this on the back of a draw against the Vegans. Of course, Bristol Rovers picking up a winner over Barrow last time around. The odds on this one then, shall we? We've got 11-10 on is your, of course, Newport County, 5-2 is your draw, and 3-1 is your long shots. That is, of course, Bristol Rovers. I'm back in a draw here, 2-2 in the end, and I think Bristol will still be happy on this one. Kicking off forwards, Northampton Town up against Tranmere, another zinger at the top of the table. Now these two sides, of course, play each other around of it 13 times since 2002. 4 wins for Northampton, 5 for Tranmere, and 4 draws, of course. Northampton coming to this on the back of what are we looking at here? Just one defeat past 6 games, 58% form for them right now. Of course, Tranmere, though, coming into this on the back of 1 win in 6 for them, 33% form for them at the moment. Of course, last time around, though, kicking on forward over in Northampton, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2018. The reverse fixture, though, in Tranmere was a 2-0 win for Northampton Town back in, of course, October 2021. Let's get into it then, shall we? Of course, Northampton picking up a draw against Walsall last time around. Of course, Tranmere picking up a 4-2 loss against Newport County. The odds on this one, Northampton Town 65 for the Ricochet, 11-5 is draw, and 23-10 is your away win. That's Tranmere, of course, going to go with a 2-1 win for the hosts here. Northampton Town taking the W on this one. Oldham up against Carlisle, a bit of a zinger at the foot of the table here. Of course, over at Boundary Park, of course, played each other 30 times since 2003. 9 was the Oldham, 12 for Carlisle, and 9 draws. Of course, Oldham, though, unbeaten the last 7 games, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws of the last 6, 75% form. Up against Carlisle side, who've picked up back-to-back wins for them. Of course, heading into this one, though, over in Oldham was a 1-1 draw back in October. Of course, that was last season. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture, of course, was a 0-0 draw over in Carlisle. That was back in October this season. Of course, Oldham picking up back-to-back draws, of course. 2-2 last time around against Crawley. Carlisle picking up a 2-0 win over Rochdale. Back-to-back clean sheets for them as well. Look at the odds, 13-10 is, of course, is your host. Of course, 11-5 is draw, and 21-10 is your away win. I'm back in a 1-0 win for Oldham here, even though it could go either way, this one. So be careful on your bets on that. It's a bit of a sticky one. Kicking off with Salford up against the Vegans. That's right, Team GB up against, of course, Team League One. Rob Edwards, that's right. Of course, 5 times they played each other since 2019. 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. Of course, just 1 defeat in the past 6 games, though, for Salford right now. 75% form. Up against the Forest Green side, of course, unbeaten or winless in 4, of course. In fact, 50% form for them. 1-2, lost 2, drawn 2 over the last 6. Kicking on forward, though, over the last time round. And Salford, it was a 0-0 draw back in September 2020. The reverse fixture, though, back in, of course, Forest Green was a 3-1 win back in October. Of course, Salford with a 2-1 win over Swindon. Back-to-back wins for them, of course. Newport County picked up a draw against the Vegans last time around. The odds here, 13-8 is your host, 11-5 is your draw, and 13-8 is your away win. Could go either way. What have I gone with? I'm gone with a 2-2 draw. That's right. Into the final game for the weekend. Of course, it is Sutton United up against Rochdale, pretty much top versus bottom, really. Played just the one time in 2021, and it was at the reverse fixture, of course. Sutton coming to this, just 1 win and 6 for them, 50% form up against the Rochdale side. Just 1 loss to the past 5 for them, 50% form for them as well. Kicking it forward, last round at Spotlands, it was a 3-2 win back in Rochdale back in October. Of course, with Sutton United picking up a 4-1 over Scunthorpe last time around, and of course, Rochdale losing to Carlisle. The odds on this one, 11-10 is your host, 23-10 is your draw, and 5-2 is your away win. That is the Rochdale on this one. I'm going to back Sutton on this one with a 2-0 win to take it to the house. Of course, now we're going into the extended, of course, fixtures, which of course are midweek next week, so it saves me coming back just for the 2 games. So we're going to take a look at these guys and then show. So Exeter up against Swindon. I've got this, of course, it'll probably be on the Tuesday. I'll give it to you right. I'll give it to you right here, right now. It will take place on the 8th of March. That's right. Now these two sides have played each other 18 times since 2004. 7 was Exeter, 6 for Swindon, and 5 draws. Exeter, of course, unbeaten in the last 6 games. If I haven't lost in the last 8, up against the Swindon side, just 1 loss of the past 4 for them. And of course, I have them picking up a a loss against Bradford on this one. Coming at you though, last time round in Exeter was a 1-1 draw. That was back in, of course, August 2019. The reverse fixture though in Swindon this season was a 2-1 win for Exeter back in Feb, actually not too long ago. Kicking off forward to go though, Exeter with the draw against Bristol Rovers last time round. Of course, Swindon losing to Salford, but of course we already know what's going on here. But I'm going to take another win for Exeter here to make a back to winning ways. Of course, having lost against Mansfield in our early pickaroo. Next up, of course, we have Crawley, of course, up against Bristol Rovers, Barton's boys. That's right. Of course, they were my tip for promotion. Of course, at the start of the season, I do think they've come good at the right time. Played each other 10 times since 2011. 2 wins for Bristol, 2 wins for Crawley, 5 for Bristol Rovers, and 3 draws. Just 1 defeat though the past 6 for Crawley. 58% form up against the Bristol Rovers side, who of course unbeaten in the last 6 games, including maybe 7 with this one as well. Last time around, though, in Crawley, it was a draw. That was back in November 2016. It was in the FA Cup. Meanwhile, last time I played in the league was in November 2015. It was in League 2. It was a win for Crawley on this one. In fact, the away side has never won this one on the last 6 occasions. But they did play each other in a reverse fixture back in Bristol back in September. It was a 1-0 for Bristol Rovers as well. Of course, Bristol Rovers with a 1-0 win against Barrow last time around. Of course, taking on Newport County this weekend. Crawley with a 2-2 draw against Oldham, taking on, of course, Scunthorpe this week. Got no odds on this one. Going with my gut. My gut says a win. for Bristol, of course. Bristol Rovers with a 2-0 win. Barton's boys right in the thick of things for promotion. That's it, of course, guys, for my picks. Be sure to get your own picks in as well. Cutley Forest League 2, an extended match week this week, of course, and look forward to seeing you back around when we look forward to the next games in League 2. But until then, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, and of course, if you're a League 2 expert or a football nut and want to get involved in the content creation, let me know down below in the old comment section, of course, and better still, follow me on Twitter, direct message me that way and say, hey, I wouldn't mind me, of course, getting involved with some content creation, because I am looking for co-hosts to see out the season in League 2, and maybe a little bit something more long-term next season. I can elaborate on that with a Zoom chat with you to tell you all about it. But of course, let me know down below. Better still, though, of course, smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, and of course, I'll speak to you soon. But until then, dudes, we're done for now.